Cape Town, a city praised for its beautiful views, mountains and beaches. However, the same beaches are Cape Town's biggest weakness as well. According to the IPCC's 6th assessment report, Cape Town is one of 12 African cities most vulnerable to climate change, due mostly to sea level rise. The city has to keep the ocean out in order to protect its population. At the same time, the city struggles with extreme shortages of fresh water as well. How will the city manage to keep the ocean out but maintain sufficient drinking water and groundwater levels? Let's break it up. Cape Town's water crisis consists of many different factors, including the one we focused on, which is that of coastal erosion. Coastal erosion around Cape Town can be attributed to a lack of new sediment combined with increasing wave intensity. These factors combined are the cause for the slowly disappearing beaches, as the erosion from the ocean has outgrown delivery of fresh sand. Add on top of that the increasing sea level, and the beaches are now disappearing faster than they ever have. The problem has already had vast consequences on the area. Baden-Powell Drive, which lines the western side of False Bay, has already had to reopen on a different alignment, as the old one is washed away. A city struggling with the same kind of problems is New York. They also have problems with coastal erosion and threats from the ocean. How did they go about approaching this? Well, first of all, State of New York established the New York Coastal Management Program. The program consists of policies to protect the coast from erosion. Before the program came into effect, state agencies were not fully coordinating their activities with one another. As a result, inconsistent decisions about the use of coastal resources were made. The program is a framework for government decision-making which affects New York's coastal area. It provides policy guides to which federal and state agencies must adhere, and also serves as a reference for local government action in the coastal areas. This has resulted in different policies which have to protect the coast of New York against storm surges and erosion. Of course, simply copy-pasting New York's policies into Cape Town won't be enough. But what should we do? Our advice is based on 3 different blocks: physical changes, governance, and an overarching plan. The first block consists of physical changes. As previously mentioned, the city of Cape Town has many places where the coast is eroding away, and as easy as it would be to say that people can just move elsewhere, this won't always be possible or might take too long. Therefore, a plan is needed now on how to deal with the current situation. As the beaches around False Bay and Blauberg are of the longshore drift type, similar to New York, we would advise on mechanically adding sand to the beaches with the most severe erosion, with a focus on adding it to areas upstream of ocean currents. Using this method will allow the sand more naturally disperse over time and decrease the amount of impact on marine life, as the sand nourishments are destructive to fish habitat. Another policy we would advise to adopt from New York is regulating the land use around the coastline. The New York policy stipulated that any new or rebuilt structure should have a 75 feet or 23 meter coastal setback with a 50 feet or a 15 meter vegetative buffer. These setbacks and vegetative buffers allow space for the beach to react more dynamically to changing environments. It would also reduce the chance that structures would be impacted during heavy storms. In places where beaches cannot be regenerated or nourished into good health, and it is impossible to relocate structures inland, let's say a harbor, we would advise creating hard coasts. These could consist of the current dolos used in and around the harbor of Cape Town, or similar products from overseas. A hard coast should, however, always be an exception and not the standard, as a hard coast will always need continuous maintenance. The second block regards a shift in governance. Currently, the political situation in Cape Town is very decentralized. All the municipalities along the coast have their own coastal protection department, making policies and interventions disconnected from one another at best and counterproductive at worst. This decentralization also makes it so that many actors have to be on the same page to make any one decision, making it difficult to quickly adapt to the changing environment. We therefore advise to create a central governance department that oversees the entire coastline. With a single governance department, it would be possible to create more extensive plans that are more holistic in nature, and the implementation time will be drastically reduced due to less actors being involved in any one given plan. The final of the 3 blocks focus on the bigger picture. It would be unsustainable to keep manually supplying beaches with new sand or to build strengthened shorelines. Instead, a more sustainable plan has to be made, one where the coastline can be naturally sustained and is allowed to adapt to changing environments. For this to become a reality, it will be necessary to create a comprehensive water vision for the entire Cape Town region. A water plan that encompasses the interactions between the shores, the rivers, and the groundwater. This greater plan should include river and stormwater management policies that would increase the sedimentary flows towards the beaches, naturally replenishing them and removing the need for manual sand nourishments. Furthermore, it should include systems where, during rainfall, water is moved towards the dunes to allow to replenish groundwater reserves in a bid to prevent water scarcity. These types of policies could create a more balanced and sustainable environment for both nature and humans alike. Thank you for watching our video.